there, class. Welcome to another week here at Beetle University. I, of course, am Professor Moptop. I hope you're all doing well. You all have something cool to look forward to in your mailbox this week. You're going to be getting 4 hunks of audio from late 1967 about the Beatles, covering 3 songs and a film. Well, 2 songs and a film, 3 parts about 2 songs, and then one about the film. The first one is a first for the Beatles. There's a lot of firsts for the Beatles. This one is a couple of firsts. It is called Flying, also known as the Aerial Tour Instrumental, which is misspelled. You might have to look that up to figure out the actual spelling. I misspell the word aerial all the time because of the Beatles. It is the first official Beatle instrumental. There was a couple of attempts where you'll hear Mr. Moptop talking about them, but this is the first official one. It was recorded for the Magical Mystery Tour. They knew they were going to need some background music. Now, for the Mystery Tour, Paul McCartney had sort of taken over as the leader of the group. John Lennon was, as he put it, very drugged out at the time, and not especially, he didn't really object to Paul taking over, but he didn't necessarily like it a whole bunch. He was letting Paul do the Mystery Tour film as he saw it, and John just kind of hung around for the ride. Well, they needed a chunk of music to put into the movie that had no words, and they tried a couple different versions. There's a 8-minute version of it. You'll hear a little bit about that, and ultimately they chopped it down to about 2 minutes for the released record. Now, all 4 Beatles chant on it, and Paul wanted Ringo to chant just a little bit louder because he was looking for a different sound texture for the song itself. It's prominently featured in the film as we see the sights as they drive around in their Magical Mystery Tour. It's very cool. It's very psychedelic. It's filmed in negative and all kinds of cool stuff. The Beatles were nothing but cool. It's also a first. That is the first song that was credited to all 4 Beatles. It's a Lennon, McCartney, Harrison, Starkey composition, which was the first time that was ever officially on a record. There's layers and layers of stuff. There's a lot of tracks. Some are backwards. Most of them are treated with artificial double tracking, as is the next song we're going to talk about this week, which is the George contribution for the Magical Mystery Tour. The song is called Blue Jay Way, and George Harrison wrote it in late August of 1967 when he went to Los Angeles. They rented a mansion, and while he was there at his mansion, they were waiting for their friend Derek Taylor, who was now living in California, to come visit them. When he was trying to get there, he got very lost, and while George was waiting for him, he was jet-lagged, he was up late. On a Hammond organ, he started writing the song Blue Jay Way. While they were in L.A., they saw Ravi Shankar perform at the Hollywood Bowl. They also hung out with the Byrds and the Mamas and Papas, and then they visited Patty Boyd's sister, Jennifer, who is Jennifer Juniper from the Donovan song. Not that that's about the Beatles, but I thought you might like to know that. When they got back to the UK, they recorded Blue Jay Way in September, and they started to work on it. And this was really before they started giving George all the attention that he needed. This song didn't get a whole lot of time spent on it, even though there was a lot of experimentation. And much like Flying, the automatic double tracking was used like crazy. It's used on the organ, it's used on the voices, it's used everywhere on the song. There's also an unknown cello player on the song, which is actually the lead player on the song, and we don't know who it actually is. The cello is also treated with artificial double tracking, and something very unusual about the song Blue Jay Way is it features no guitar. There are very few Beatles songs that do not feature a guitar. And the bonus little hunk of audio you're going to be getting is the Magical Mystery Tour wrap-up at the end of the unit of all the songs from the film and the soundtrack of the Mystery Tour. We wrap them up, and that's the 3rd piece of audio you're going to be getting this week. The 4th piece of audio you're going to be getting about the 3rd topic. Professor Moptop talks about the film, talks about some of the recordings, and talks about the history behind the Magical Mystery Tour. All these things will be sent in your mailbox. Actually, they should be here already. You may have already possibly downloaded them. And with that, it's time to say toodles for another week. I'm not one to say toodles, but I read it in a book recently, and I thought I would try to use it. Thank you so much for being Beatle-rific. If I haven't thanked you a million times yet, I'll thank you a million times eventually. Until next time, I'm Professor Moptop.